Mentality Edition 38. Basically, George Zimmerman, Trayvon Martin. My conclusion, and based on intellectual analysis, if you think about it, if if he was George Zimmerman stirring up drama by overstating or doing more than he needed to do, the law and morality are two different things. If he was in the wrong for starting the drama, and it seems to me it was based on some image of him portraying blacks as gangbangers because Trayvon Martin was wearing a certain clothes, baggy pants, sagging pants, or whatever, or he just looked like a gangbanger or a troublemaker. That doesn't make him a troublemaker if he looks like one. See, this is our problem in our society. It's based on image. Two, I used to be a paralegal, and I used to work for the public defender's office. The problem, I was just an intern, but the problem is the law doesn't recognize, the law is the law, and there's a little bit of leeway when the judge has it. The judge has the leeway to make the discretion of what he or she is going to do. The judges have a lot of power. Three, because if Trayvon Martin had beat George Zimmerman, it's because of the end result of him, of George Zimmerman going over there and starting the bullshit, starting the drama. That's wrong. The law doesn't recognize that. You see the stuff going on in the court in Florida, the live stream, the court TV or whatever, the court of them will Trayvon Martin have marijuana in the system. That doesn't take away from George Zimmerman going over there because he wanted to be a cop, and he was, for whatever reason, he wasn't a cop, so he wanted some excitement. And he didn't like blacks because they looked like a certain image. African Americans looking at a certain image of a gangbanger. He's wrong. He created the situation, and Trayvon Martin felt threatened. And then, of course, he's going to retaliate. If somebody does you wrong, doesn't make you crazy, does it? That's another point. That's my next movie. If somebody, and I have to make a movie on initiative, but if somebody does you wrong, you got every right. Of course, you're going to be angry. Now, the people with their nose up in the air and say, well, you should be locked up because you're crazy, and the way you act, and these do-gooders act like happy 24/7, and they don't understand the world. That's not the world. Or they're intolerant. It's like somebody's different from you and they act upset. Obviously they're upset, and they don't have they don't have the empathy, awareness of how others feel. They just got their nose stuck up in the air like they're better, like they have a pep talk and judgmental ridicule. It's like, oh, look at you acting like a 2-year-old, or blah blah blah, 5-year-old. I'm getting a little sidetracked, but the thing is, there's a lot to be said on this. And the bottom line is, George Zimmerman, I think, created, I'm just saying, based on logic, and from my opinion, because we're entitled, doesn't mean we don't have to live in a free country to be entitled to our opinion. And this is not just an opinion. This is based on right and wrong and educated guess, analysis, and I'm not trying to make assumptions. From what I've seen on TV, from what I've seen is that George Zimmerman, based on his track record in the past, has called 911, what, like 50,000 times, or whatever was it, 50 times, 100 times, because he wanted to be a cop. And then he ended up being a neighborhood patrolman. He called himself a watch captain, right? A security guard, right? You can call that, I was a security guard, But the thing is, he was a neighborhood volunteer watch person. And security jobs are boring. Everybody knows that. Sometimes, okay, maybe he just wanted also in the back of his head to create a little excitement for his boring routine, for his drab, mundane routine. If Trayvon Martin was beating him, it's out of the result of him stalking him. It overkill based on really no reason. There's no communication. It was just probably just, it seems to me like it was just anger. See, this is what happens when you don't communicate. What I'm doing now is communicating my beliefs and my conclusions and my intentions and my personality to you. This is what probably George Zimmerman didn't do. And this is a sad situation, because if somebody gets into a heated argument, and here's the moment you do things you don't want to do later on. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, you're going to regret it, right? And then I'm just passionate about this. I shouldn't have to be passionate to get my point across, because people should be smart enough to understand right and wrong. But people aren't. So, that's right, people aren't. There's no intelligence. Somebody wrote a YouTube comment. There's no intelligence on this planet. Where do you find it? You can't. Far and few between. And if you're lucky to even get that. Really sad. But George Zimmerman, he may have his good qualities, but end results, bottom line too, he shot somebody to death. Based on, he's not sentenced yet. I'm just saying he's charged with that. This political correctness of, you're going to get sued because you said X, Y, and Z, and that's not true. We live in a world of image, ignorance, and assumptions, and this is what happens. People gotta, I don't even like the word calm down. People gotta take a deep breath, couple of deep breaths, and say, hey, let's just talk about this, instead of getting into a fight where the guy has to defend himself because he felt like I think he was backed into a wall, Trayvon Martin, and George Zimmerman started the whole thing. And whatever Trayvon Martin did, like beat him up, and he felt threatened, it was because as a result of him starting it. It matters who started it. It does matter, right?